Well, let's see if this works. Let's see. Please let me know if you could hear and see or do anything. Because, I have absolutely no idea at the moment. This could be going horrendously wrong. But I thought I'd try something a little bit out, make it a little bit snazzy. You know, I get distracted by little things like that. Hi, Ruby. Can you hear me? Can you see me? Is everything okay, Bob the Bookerer? I can't tell. I cannot tell. I thought I would do something a little bit snazzy. With a little bit of a different setup, but I have absolutely no idea if it's working right now. And I have no idea if this microphone is working. If people can let me know in the chat that, well, you know, everything's going swell, everything's going dandy, everything's going perfectly to plan. That's all I need to hear you. We can hear you like, yes! Yes! So, just to let everyone know, everyone uses, you know, StreamYard. Now I've hit 3,000. I've moved into OBS, and it has taken me. Belle, you can have it. It has taken me 5 hours to get this set up. But look what I can do. This is gonna be. Everything is right. Come on. How's that? Can you hear me now? Can we hear you fight? No, can't hear me anymore. No! Come on! Come on, the audio gods. Come on, people. Yes! Is that a guess? We got it back. Is that a guess? We got it back, boys. Get in. Come on. This has been. Yes. So, tip: when you do an OBS, you have to add the microphone in. Who would have thought that? Who would have? I've spent so long doing this. This is brilliant. This is great. Well, I hope you. Thank you for joining me on a delicious Wednesday evening. I know I was doing loads. It was going to be planned for yesterday, 8 p.m, but I remembered Great British Bake Off started, and I don't care what anyone says. That takes priority over everything in my life. Maggie. We want Maggie to win, peeps. We want Maggie to win. Oh my gosh. Man, I'm so, like, legitimately pumped that, like, this is working. This is great. This is honestly great. Who have we got? We got loads of peeps. Look at this. Hello. I just want to say, we're going to split this up, do a little bit differently. As you will all know, I have set up a coffee page, and with that, people can join the Booker Boy Book Club. And hold on, oh, what's this snazzy transition for? Yes, get in. I don't know if I can read that. Oh my gosh. No, I don't think I can read that from this far away. I have tried so hard today to get this all right. But you know what, people? There's a lesson in there. is a lesson here. And that is, you got to try things, you know? You don't ask, you don't get. But basically, if anyone on the Discord would like to drop some questions down, I will endeavour to try to read them from, like, this distance. Because, by gosh, that is small. Hang on, if I... Let me just... Oh, boy, that's a bit different. I have no idea what I'm really doing. And hopefully, this will all work. I have faith. I have faith that it's going to work. Come on. Come on. If not, we're just going to go on YouTube chat. Because I have downloaded so many bots. I have downloaded so many things today to make it is not working. Okay. Do you know what? I don't even care. This has been the bane of my afternoon. Oh, we're all for it. We're all for it. We're just gonna go back to here. Actually, no. We're gonna go just here. Just me and you we're just gonna have a lovely time. You know? We're just gonna enjoy ourselves. That's what it's all about. This is it. So this is Charlotte's just put in the chat. This is incredible. No, this is stress. This is stress at play here. I could have done so many more productive things with my afternoon. And nope, I decided, let's see if I can do transitions. No, do you know what? We're gonna go back to the YouTube comments. We're just gonna have a whale of a time here. Again, if you are so inclined and you want to join the Booker Boy Book Club, we have just to like announce it here because I don't want to do like a video. Oh no, we're just going to address it here. So if you want to jump on the Discord and chat with like some amazing people on a day, I have a literary news channel that's like an RSS feed. I'm going to be turning that out. So if you want articles from the Times, the Paris Review, the Times Literary Supplement, literary feed, that's all going to be like collated there. So if you're just looking to get up into the know, there's that. We have the individual book clubs at the moment. Obviously, we are reading all things Booker, but one of the wonderful people there, Emma, is modding a Flowers for Algernon book club. So if you want to read some science fiction, hopefully I can get my hands on a copy. I'm going to jump in on that because it's referenced in Bewilderment by Richard Powers. Review coming soon. And thinking of reviews, if you want early access over on the coffee, you can get early access to all the videos. At the moment, there is The Promise already out for people to watch. Of my controversial view on that one, along with Sanjeev Sahotaa's China Room. Forgot that book all of a sudden, didn't I? I'm also doing coffee-only reviews. So I've recently put out Otesha Mosfeg's My Year of Rest and Relaxation, where if you want a complete Marmite review, literal on the Marmite, that's where you need to go. Alongside that, you can choose books. One of the perks is that, you could choose a book for me to review. And one will be reviewed in December. It's already been chosen. But, if you're ever so inclined, please do. Yes, it would be grateful. It will be thankful. And thank you, everyone who has happily donated. It's been a little bit bizarre over the past month. Note to self, a note to you. Don't review an R.C. Walden review and say, it's rubbish. You know what it is. So, what have we got? When can we expect a cardboard ice cream van? I don't know. Soon. Hopefully next year, I'm going to get in contact with a different prize. I'm still going to be doing Booker. Comment. If you're on the Discord, you'll know where it is. Don't give any spoilers. But I'm going to be contacting another prize. So hopefully there'll be a few more prize reviews bit more, that's the type of guy I am now. Just try things out like this. I love it. Are you joining Zim's book club? Yes, I will be there. Zim over at Zim Reads is hosting a book club to read Something Wicked This Way Comes by Ray Bradbury. There will be links over on his channel. Also, if you join the Book of Boy Book Club, you can post all that stuff there. Like, I'm pretty laissez-faire on it. Congrats on 3K. Looking forward to all your Victober content. Do you know what, people? People were like, you're trolling, Victober. You don't care about Victober. Let me show you something here. Transition. You want to know how dedicated I am to Victober? Yes, Island of Dr. Moreau's on its way. Don't worry about it. I'll end up vivisectioning one of my 4 cats to me by the end of that one. It's going to be horrendous. But you know what also is going to be horrendous? Wuthering Heights, people. I got a copy of Wuthering Heights. And I'm going to review Wuthering Heights. And I'm going to read Wuthering Heights. Don't think I'm just, a standard guy who likes, Victober, that's silly. No, I'm dedicated. I won't put up with I won't be threatened with a good time. And so I've picked up a Villette by Charlotte Bronte, which apparently is really chunky. I don't know if I will get around to reading like the whole thing through October, but I will endeavour to finish Villette, the best Jane Eyre can get. There you go. That's a sponsorship for you. Transition. So, yeah. So we got those two. I don't think I have any other Victorian books. Do I have any other Victorian books? I don't even know when Queen Victoria was alive. It's like turn of the century, isn't it? No. We'll say no. Okay, let's have a look for this chat. Victober. Yeah, Victober. Check out Kate Howe. We love Kate Howe. Why do I do this to myself, honestly? Can we get a reprise of your Sweet as a Water review, but at double speed? Do you know what? I would love to know if you played that at 2 times speed. What it would be like. If you haven't seen it, it's only 13 seconds long. If you only have 7 seconds to spare in your day, double speed it. It'll get the job done. Wuthering Heights. Wuthering. It's love it. Is Victober by Victoria Beckham? It should be. It shouldn't. I don't think there's a person who is as boring as Victoria Beckham. Great, no one to argue that point. Brilliant. So, you've never read, Michaela has never read any Bronte or Austen. You're not missing out. No, I like Jane Eyre. No one was expecting that. No, oh, I'm gonna do another transition. This is great. I'm gonna grab my hat. 2 secs, people. Be right back. I'm really proud of this. Your boy's back. Mate, this is just great. Yeah, no, I like Jane Eyre. I didn't when I was 14. I was reading it in school, but the further I've got away from it, the more I'm like, yeah, Jane Eyre was pretty damn good. I have read Tenant of Wildfeld Hall, so that was okay. I have read Wuthering Heights before. Heads up, it's one of the worst books I've ever read. But I'm going in with it was like the first classic. So, plus I was like 18, first year. It was the first 2 weeks in university, and I hadn't studied English, so maybe it was a bit of a moment. But we're gonna go in with an open mind. Probably still gonna be grumpy about it, but these oh mate, do they have sounds on them? Mate, I don't even know what I'm doing. Mate, you know, I'm literally just making it up. I don't. I'm sorry. I have no idea what I'm doing, but I'm trying my damnedest. You know, you gotta try something. Everyone could do a standard stream. Would it be me if it wasn't just a little bit over the top and a bit chaotic? No, I don't think so. I think that's the only reason people have stayed so long. They're just like, what is he going to do next? And it's me going, I'm just gonna try and do. I'm gonna try and figure out OBS in like 5 hours. Why? I'm so sorry about anyone's eardrums. I didn't even know they had what's it called? Sound on them. Because I'm so dedicated to my craft. But Q looks so happy about the transitions. Honestly, you could do if you want a positive aphorism for me, it's you can do anything for 1 minute. You know, people can do anything. It's great. It's great. But yeah. When my grandchildren asked me where I was when Kira discovered transition, I can probably tell them I was there. I'm really proud of myself. I'm not going to lie, people. I'm just really happy that like this hasn't just exploded. I mean, I don't know if you can hear my laptop. It sounds as though it's about to like become the next SpaceX mission from Tesla. But we're having a wonderful time, and isn't that the best part about it? So we're gonna get cool. We're gonna get cool hip hop and dizzy. That's what the cool kids say now, isn't it? If you have any questions, I said to people on Discord I would answer all their questions, but clearly I can't even figure out the damn thing because I can't read it. It's just so small. But any questions on here? Fire away. Fire away. I'll try to get to at least like some of them. It's more Pokemon trainer than hip hop. Don't come to my neck of the woods. Bam. What is burnt sugar? No. Larry, no. Move to the back of the queue, mate. Craig Scott, why didn't burnt sugar win the Booker? Because people don't have good taste in books. That's why everyone went with Shuggy Bane. Shuggy Bane. Oh, let's choose the book that everyone likes. Everyone loves that. It's great. It was wow. Shuggy Bane won. Woohoo! Get out of here. Get out of here. You know, I'm gonna say it. I'm gonna say it because I've been saying it since it won. Everyone was saying now is the chance for a diverse winner, and they gave it to the white man. And then people went, but Scottish people haven't won it for. You can't bend the rules. You can't bend the rules. Mate, Tsitsi Damgaremga, like, equally should have won it. That was a great book. Burnt Sugar should have won it. It was a great book. Diane Cook, get out of here. Get out of here. Mazaman Sister's book was a waste of time. Stop it. The more I think about Booker 2021 winds me up way more than Booker 2020 winds me up way more than Booker 2019. I don't particularly mind that there was a dual winner, because to be fair, even though I hate it at the moment, I think it's quite funny that they just like committed to it. There's a bit of me going, well, you know what? Fine. fucking cool. Plus, like, people are going, oh, it's the first time it's happened. It's the third. Fun fact, you can have that for free, people. The last one was... The one before that was Michael Ondaatje and Barry Unsworth in Bob the Booker is going to kick me in the face if I get this wrong. 1984, just before the Bone People. And then the other one was Stanley Hamilton's Holiday and Nadine Gavriska's La Conservationist, something like that. That was in the 70s. It ain't that much of a big deal at Double Winner. We've had it 3 times. A third time's the charm. It wound everyone up. Why is Lockwood going to win the Booker this year? She ain't. Let's not have silly questions. Low Shelverstein, who is the greatest reader of our time, and why is it George Saunders? Incorrect. It's not George Saunders. Because he ain't. The greatest writer of our time. If I say Rushdie, is anyone going to go, oh, that Kieran who he likes Rushdie? Salman Rushdie, quite easily. That man is a genius, but we do not talk about the Golden House. Don't ask me about the Golden House. We don't talk about the Golden... What's the Golden House? I wasn't there for that conversation. Kieran, who would be your starter Pokemon? And when you battle your rival at Party's book, what would be a cool tagline? I would choose, like, probably Bulbasaur. I like Bulbasaur. Because I always thought Ivysaur was way cooler than Venusaur. I know people are going to go, that doesn't make any... No, trust me, like, Ivysaur looks like the better version of Venusaur. And then Venusaur, you get Solar Beam, which just takes so long to do. Mine would be, read it and weep. And that's what I did after I finished your book. I read it, then I wept. Ha ha ha. And I'd kick him in the shin. And I'd steal his Pokeballs. Here for the Dangarumga big ups. Doom Antidote. Just to let you know, Ben from Doom Antidote we're going to be reading... I have 3 copies of it. I should be able to find one. Divine Comedy. Also, if you're part of the Booker Boy Book Club, plug, I made this into an emoji. Well, that's pretty cool. And you can have Ben dancing as an emoji. Also, all the book clubs, I'm still going to be announcing them on YouTube, so if you do want to read them as part of the month, and you'll get the review, it's just, if you decide to do it, it's like a chat with it. So, like, don't worry, like, the book club's still going to be, like, a thing. It will just be kind of like the standard YouTube book club where they go, we're going to read this book. And it's kind of like, I hope someone does. Kind of. Kira, would you say that indeed 2020 did not have its hype on? It did not. It did. It indefinitely refused to hype. There was a resistor in it that forgo the on-in of hype. There you go. 2020 was so hype because we read it in OG Booker Boy Book Club. I suppose 2020 was a bit... I think the cool kids say, dope. Bah! That's me. That's me, you dope kid. That's me. Just 100% cool. The book of this started was all 2020. And we had... Do you know what? It's quite weird to think... Oh, we're going to get very nostalgic here. It's a bit weird that not even a year and a half ago, I started this. And look what we can do now. We could do, like, live streams. There's people talking. There's people who know each other on the chat. I could do this. Whoa! You weren't expecting. You knew that was going to happen. I'm going to go straight back now. So sorry. F's in the chat for Ruby and her years. Ruby, I apologize to you. Yeah, drums. That's another little fun fact. Since, like, mostly speaking to people from England, I can't say you anymore. For, like, I have to say yeah. and it really freaks me out. Give your best and worst previous Booker winners. I don't want to say it. Maybe I'll say it and big some hype up because I'm behind editing at the moment anyway. I think there's one to rival Midnight's Children. But so far, Midnight's Children, it's wild. This book is so... I think if you're in the book club, you might know what I'm currently struggling with. I'm like in awe by it. That it's like so dense. But that might rival Midnight's Children. But at the moment, it's Midnight's Children. And the worst one I have read is The English Patient by Michael Ondaatje, that won the Golden Booker Award, like the best out of the 50 books of the year. And I remember going out, buying it, reading it, being like, why are they playing Kiss Chase in the dark for like way too long? It's really weird. Like, no, but not weird, it's just like, okay. The guy's burnt. Sorry, Ondaatje fans. Ruby, thank you for your thoughts. You're welcome. Kieran, do mermaids give birth to live children or do they lay eggs? Well, the fish half, isn't it, down the bottom? So, they would be like fish. The eggs would be inside them, and then they would spore them out, and then they would hatch. There you go. If it was the other way around, they would give birth, but it's like fish. So you just go. That's a noise. Oh gosh, what's going on here? What is your note-taking process when reading, whether academic text or novel? Thank you so much to Charlotte, who's copy and pasted from Discord. Can we just give like an absolute round of applause? 10 out of 10. Okay, my process. The best thing would be is, let me get the book that I study. Is it downstairs? No, it's here. Okay, so I have studied Midnight's Children for what will be... I've had this book since 2014, I want to say. I think I started reading it in third year, did my master's on it, and I'm now doing my PhD. Okay, let me show you how I take notes. I never take notes. I've never written a single note in a book whatsoever. I tried doing it in university for first year and realised I remembered nothing. And if I had like underlined something, I would be like, yeah, okay, why is this useful to me? So I never... Yeah. I never write in books. Do I have any other books that I've studied? I mean, I bought a second-hand copy of Paradise Lost. Are there like a few? Are there? Yeah, there's a few like underlinings. Like you can see there. I don't know if you can see that. Anyway, they've underlined it. Of Balim and Ashtaroth, whose male these females, for spirits when they please, can either sex assume or both so soft, and uncompounded in their essence pure, not tied or manacled with joint or limb, nor founded on the brittle strength of bones like cumbrous flesh, in what shape they choose, dilated or condensed, bright or obscure, can execute their airy purposes and works of love or enmity fulfill. I don't know why you've highlighted that, mate. Previous owner, you just got added. Reader and weep. Yeah, so I've only tabbed a book once, and it's because it was a library copy in the university. It was Kierkegaard's Fear and Trembling, translated by Alistair Hannay. It's like a 2015 Penguin edition, and no one else was taking it out, so I did it so people would normally keep the tabs in if anyone was to take it, but I could go back and be like, okay, I know where all the page numbers are, because I'm a little bit lazy like that. But yeah, no, I never never write anything down. I just don't find it useful. Okay, let me scroll up. Oh my gosh! Oh god, there's so many people. Gonna be I can't find anything. Whoa, okay, there's so many people now. I don't understand why people do that, especially if they're not studying. I think it's like I don't have like an inherent hatred towards people who take their books. I just think for me and for my PhD, it's I mean, with a PhD, I think you're unlearning more than you're learning. You think you know something, and then you realize 18,000 people disagree with you. Yeah, and they're all like Dutch translations, and you're like, wait, what? So, yeah, yeah. Yeah, like if it works for you, it works for you. So that. Dylan, saw your reviews. Definitely makes me want to try Rushdie. Please do. I know someone asked me where to start off with Rushdie. I think it was Charlotte from Low Self Esteem. By the way, you should like definitely go and subscribe to her. She's pretty new, but she's jumping on the Booker train. She's just done a really good review on The Promise by Damon Galgut, everyone's favorite. Yeah, definitely check her out. But she asked me about Rushdie. I think if you just want to like smash Rushdie out, I've been thinking about this since she asked, because I said you can kind of like start wherever with Rushdie, because they're all complex, they're all very much their own. But if you're like conscious of time and you just like, I just want to like see what I can like get into my veins, 2 years 8 months and 28 nights, yeah, there's that. That's 1001 nights, just to let you know. It's his view on that. Like that one, I won't tell you what it's about, but yeah, I'd probably recommend that if you just like want to smash it out. You got the Satanic Verses, and it sounds really weird to say I still need to just review this, but I'm a little bit petrified that the comments are going to be absolutely horrendous. I hope everyone can appreciate that. But I was actually told off twice for reading this in public. There's still some like resentment towards this. But if you want like a really good Rushdie book but not have resentment, Midnight's Children. But it's difficult. There were times where even I was like, oh, like, whoa, okay, Rushdie, like you're getting very Rushdie on me at the moment. But that's what I would say. Don't jump into like Shalimar the Clown. Don't do that. Avoid. Ground beneath their feet. Avoid. Haroon and the Sea of Stories, he wrote for his son, so it's quite easy, but it's about the beauty of story and structure and narrative and sentences. If you got young kids, definitely like recommend that for them. It's great. But yes, thank you for checking my reviews. Thank you very much. And try and Rushdie, that's what I say. Where's my prize, Kira? Literary Katie's reviews on the fly at 2 a.m. Yes. That's why the quality of the camera varies a lot. Because sometimes I can fill it in. So if people leave the house and I got like a half-hour break, I can try to record some and I'll kind of catch up a little bit later on in the afternoon. Like my R.C. Walden review, that's like in the day, like ideal. Sally Rooney was kind of split over 3 parts of the day. I had to kind of pick up. You can see where it's like picked up. And then some of them look like they've been recorded on a potato. And isn't that what the joy of YouTube is? Because I don't particularly care that I don't look professional. Because I'm not professional. I just... I just... Boop, out of my mouth. I suppose, like, I mean, if people... I know people have asked, like, where do I start? I've kind of based this channel on, if I was... Some reviews are different. You kind of have to take each book as it is and what you want to talk about and how you talk about it. But if someone like asked me in a pub, hey, have you read this book? And I went, yes. And they went, what's it about? Talk to me. It's that kind of like on the fly let's naturally walk through this in some easy way. So sometimes you will cover spoilers, sometimes you don't cover spoilers, sometimes you talk about the author if it's of interest, sometimes you don't. It depends. But it's one of those. What we got? Can we get more transition, please? No. Ruby Hamer has been here since like the first day, and we respect Ruby Hamer's years on this live stream. Give like 10 minutes. So many people on YouTube underline books covered and posted. Yeah, cool. I'm like, if it works for you, like you know what you're doing, do it. Like yeah. Came for the Rushdie, stayed for the R.C. Walden. That's what it's all about. Love a good annotated book. What's the worst? But I mean, I love it normally because the price gets reduced down in like secondhand shop. That's me. But I'll never like scrub them out. I quite like them. Do you know one thing I want to normalize, and I put it on the Discord, is when do I have the book? I don't. But like when people write in the front like, hey, I'm giving you this book because, and give a reason. Like I want to, like, if I'm ever like giving out books, I want to start doing that more. I won't be doing it for the Booker giveaway. The video is coming out soon. Don't worry about it. I'm giving away all 13 books of Booker. It'll be soon. It's only going to be up for like 24 hours. If you support me on Coffee, if you miss it, doesn't matter. You'll automatically be entered. How is Way of Kings going by Larry? Yep, still there. I think you should review Satanic Verses, just refer to the author as R.C. Walden throughout. No. Johann Badenhorst. Have you read any Charles Portis? The name's ringing a bell, but I have no idea what they've written. So, no. I mean, the answer was no. Oh, yeah. What we got? I wonder why. I got a copy of a book was for a charity shop, and inside the front cover, it rained when I met you. Oh, then the date. Oh, I think that's really cute. I want to like normalize that. I love it. Do you know what? Someone wrote that and handed it to me. I'd be like, yeah. I'd buy him a pint. That's the type of guy I am. That's cute. Yeah, the chat's got a bit wild. So if like you've asked something before, just stick it back in. Just copy paste it. Yeah. I'm trying to think of anything. What's that? I mean, I finished all the Booker books, just to let everyone know, so I just got to edit and film Bewilderment. That's all I have to do now. I'm kind of letting this sink in a bit more. But yeah, I'm a little bit book. What's the word? Slumped. A bit slumped. I did this last year. Took me ages to finally crack into something. Yeah, 13 books. Mate, that was... I say it every time. I'm like, yeah, I can do it again. It's so draining. You know, but... Thoughts on Anne Bronte. I saw you mention her somewhere. But I haven't read How Does She Compare to Her Sister. I didn't mind Tenant of Wildfell Hall. It's a bit Bronte. I mean, I think they're quite consistent. But yeah, it's okay. I don't think I have a bad time. I thought it was quite similar to The Lighthouse, but I mean similar in regards to how but like to The Lighthouse. If you read To The Lighthouse by Wolf, I think going into Tenant of Wildfell Hall, there's like a few parallels that could be made there. Something to give you like what it's about. So if you didn't like To The Lighthouse, you might not like Tenant of Wildfell Hall. They're kind of like synonymous in my head, but like they're not even related to each other. Don't worry about it. Rachel's reading here. Hi, Rachel. We stand Rachel. We love Rachel. What book would work better as a graphic novel? Definitely not Fight Club. Fight Club 2 by Chuck Palahniuk What was that graphic novel? Do I still own it? I think I gave it away. It was like the weirdest thing ever. It's Palahniuk like inserts himself into Fight Club, but the book split between the characters following on from Fight Club and Chuck Palahniuk writing the story as, but they're not. It's very weird. A book that would work good as a graphic novel. What a question. I would like to see. I don't know. I think it's got to be something like a little bit wild. Like a little bit of wild. We'll go for Mark Tassard, Salo. I've not even read it. Don't care. I want it as a graphic novel. Are you a fan of science fiction? If so, who are some of your favourite writers of the genre? Or genre, as I used to say back in the day, because I was hip-hop and cool. Yeah, I don't mind science fiction. I really like Ursula K. Le Guin, of what I've read. I'd probably say my favourite is Philip K. Dick, because his last name is really funny to say. But PKD. Yeah, Do Androids Dream of Electric Sheep was, like, incredible. A Scanner Darkly is just wild. I need to get around to Ubik. Or Ubik. I want to read that. But, yeah. I mean, does Kurt Vonnegut count? I don't mind his science-y, fiction-y stuff. Maybe, I don't know. I'll probably say that. I did get a copy. It's here. Oh yeah. Picked up a copy of Arthur C. Clarke. I read like one short story of his, but I've never read anything else. Oh, I really like Robert Heinlein's short story, All You Zombies. That's incredible. And if you want like a good film recommendation, it's based on it. It's a little bit loose, but Premonition, based on Heinlein's All You Zombies. That was a great film. Here we go. I need to find the Fight Club graphic novels. Yeah, it's only one. It's like one big book. I'll send you a link on the Discord. Do I own it? I'll send it to you if I do, because I hated it. No, I might have given it to my mate. I'll message you on Discord, Charlotte. We'll sort it out. Pick it up because Loved Cavalier and Clay. I need to do that. Story of the Eye graphic novel. Yeah, Leon, let's go. No, Story of the Eye. Take away Mark Tassard. The Marquis. Story of the Eye. Yeah, I want Bataille. Story of the Eye graphic novel. Paradise Lost. I'm assuming this is as a graphic novel. Sandman, maybe technically is. Not entirely sure. R.C. Walden would say so. So, yeah, no, not Paradise Lost though. I'm pretty sure there's a Paradise Lost graphic novel. I remember like looking at it. I'm pretty sure. Yeah. What's your favourite Maximalist novel? White boy, white boy, white boy, white boy. I mean, I don't know. Maybe Keyshot might be up there. I don't care. I really like Infinite Jest. At me. It's great. And I've read Foster Wallace's other works, and they're not that great. There you go. Brief interviews with hideous men. More like, don't bother. Broom and the Sister. More like, don't bother. The Pale King. More like, maybe you just don't publish posthumous works. There you go. Have that for fun. Yeah, I really like Infinite Jest. It's a bit wild. It's not as hard as people make it out to be. It's really silly. Infinite Jest. Yeah. Have you read Cat's Cradle? See the cat? See the cradle? Boop, 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 boop. With Bocano, is that his name? With a if you read Cat's Cradle, you'll know. I love Cat's Cradle. Can you do a Palahniuk collab? Yeah, like I'm down for that. I'm down for that. Hit me up. I'll do that. My USA might be showing, but what can you tell me about Bournemouth University? It's in Bournemouth. It is a building made of stone. It has a library, and students stay there. You're welcome. Not to be related with the Bourneville University, which is solely for dark chocolate bars. You're welcome. Pedro Paramo would be an amazing graphic novel. Don't even know what that is. Please let me know. I have a feeling Paradise Lost is a graphic. Yeah, there's a Fight Club 3 graphic novel. He does a sequel. He probably shouldn't have done that. No. Oh, it's Miranda from Pages and Stages. How we doing? Hi, Miranda. Me and Miranda. No, we're doing it now. Me and Miranda, we need to read. I'm going to do this. Ruby. I'm sorry. Animalia by Jean-Baptiste Del Amo. I sent Miranda a copy of this. We're going to read it together at some point. We need to do it. We keep off putting it. If you don't know what this is, Bob from the Bobsphere has the best video on it. I think it's only just in a wrap up. I don't even know if he's done like a full review, like just on the book. I'm not entirely sure. But check out Bobsphere. He just said at the end there's a pork apocalypse, and I was like, sold. I'm quite easy to sell books to. Similar to Charlotte from Low Shelf Esteem. Isn't it weird, like, with internet people? Like, I've known Charlotte for, like, 3 weeks. And I picked up the collection by Nina Lega. It goes on, not the Booker Boy Book Club Discord, but the Book Hottie Discord. You can get links in CJ's videos. She picked this up based on my last live stream. I was like, just buy something that you just have no idea about. It's the best way to do critical reading. She said, this is a book with a lot of willies in it. And I was like, sold. We're getting around to it. To reading it. What we're going to do if the Divine Comedy ends up in the Testaments Club. Do you know what I think? I think that's good. Because the best thing about a negative review is that someone will pick it up and be like, is it really that bad? So really, Dante, hit me up, Dante. I'll speak to your publicist. I'll get a few copies gone. What is happening? Did I cause this? Yes. Cannibalism, I think. I don't know what that is in relation to, but yes. Bobsphere is an international treasure. We must protect him at all costs. 100%. Love the Bobsphere. He's great. The Willie's book. Yeah. That's it. Again, if you want to pick up a copy, the collection. Nina Lega. I don't know. But yeah, it has Willie's in it. And I was like, cool, I'm down for that. Oh, Bobsphere is the superior Bob. Yep. Who are you? Bob. You are Kate Bush's #1 fan. Don't let anyone take that away from you. Don't you dare. You hold on to that torch and you let it burn till the embers roar. I got your back, mate. Will Walden write something great? Yeah, probably. I have no doubt that he will. That he'll write something decent. I mean, he's young. He's young. He's got a platform. People will buy it and defend it regardless. Not that I think people like me should read his books, but yeah, it's fair. Like once you've made something and it goes out, you're allowed to be criticized for it. It's kind of part, like, no one gets, universal acclaim. And if everything is getting universal acclaim, like, if it sounds too good to be true, it probably is. And you're allowed to have opinions. You're allowed to just not like something, even if something's like devilishly popular, or everyone's got arcs and they go in, wow, this is the best thing in the world. You're allowed to buy it and be like, what's this all about? I think people see criticism as like not bullying, but as I've always the best way. I've always wanted to do a video on this. I'm not entirely sure. I'm like convinced in my head what the hell I'm talking about sometimes. Yeah, I think it's one of those things that, like, you can find criticism in everything. I can find criticisms in Avidoshi's Burnt Sugar. Like, 100% I can. You could do that. It's not wrong to criticize it. It's just that your criticisms have to be valid. There has to be, like, a reason why you're saying it. So, like, when people go, I don't like this book, it's not great. And I'm like, okay, so what does that mean? Like, what's not great about it? And I think if your fallback is, I didn't really enjoy it, then, okay, it's like, so what did, like, everything has to be founded on something. Now, if it's like, I didn't like this character development, maybe other people think the character development was great. That's fine, you're allowed that. But you can't just, like, inherently say, this book's rubbish, meh. And equally, I don't think you should say, this book's great, wow. And not be there to, like, back it up. And I think it's very easy I think it's easier to do a positive review sometimes, because you could just fall into the trap of hyperbole. And I'm fully aware that I do that. And I'm not really explaining anything. I'm just going, wow, this was incredible. Maybe people appreciate that with me because I'm a grumpy so-so most of the times. But I think there's that. You have to despite what you're latching on, you have to be able to articulate the reason why you do or dislike it. So, like, with the R.C. Walden, I mean, it is harsh. I mean, but I was saying the same things I did with the Daniel Green video. Sadly, the fantasy community didn't see that. Maybe that's a good thing. But I said the same things in his videos as I said in Walden's. Which is, and I'm going to say it here, because maybe you're thinking of self-publishing. If you're self-publishing, you don't have deadlines. You can't say, well, I had a deadline to produce it. You don't. That's the beauty of self-publishing, is that you can do it whenever. It's not like a published author, but when you're publishing traditional, you have a team around you. And maybe if you're Donna Tartt, you don't even have to listen. But, like, that's fair. Some of the reason is, like, if it's bad, and even the reasoning is, but you put it out knowing that it was bad, that's, like, a fair criticism. I think. Maybe people will disagree. Who knows? Let's have a look. Kira, I replay that clip every time I have a bad day. Oh, what clip's this? The Kate Bush anthem. You're welcome. Declaration. KDBooks, do you plan on reading Knausgaard's Morningstar? I would rather Oedipus myself, as in stab myself in the eyes, not the other thing. That's good because I have a Sally Rooney video coming on Friday. I want to be constructive, but I didn't get it. Do you know what? I think more people should admit that they have no idea. There's a few books. I read more than I review. Some of them I just don't get. The one that I'm really enjoying for the previous Man Booker winners, I'm not getting it. I'm slowly starting to get into it. I mean, slowly. I'm 300 pages in, and I'm kind of clicking on to what the author's doing. But I think that's fair. I think if you're saying I got this, these opposing, I didn't quite understand X, Y, Z. I think that's like completely fine to do. If you don't know something, like put your hands up and say you didn't know. Yeah. That's what I would say. That's what I would say. I think, yeah, that's me. Are you talking about finding textual evidence to support your argument? Yes, in the loosest terms. So I don't think you have to like find an exact sentence or an exact paragraph. I think when it comes to a review, this is why I never leave mine spoiler free, because I'm kind of assuming you've read it or you know enough about the book. I hope that I can pull back to some degree. Again, it depends on the book. I hope to like pull back. So if you haven't have read it, you're kind of going in with okay, let's see where what he was talking about. Do I agree? Do I disagree? In that sense, and you might find that you agree with me on some things, you disagree with others, and you kind of get this wider sense of the book. Maybe, but I think you actually have to. You can't just say this book was great, because you know what, it was good. Like that doesn't like mean anything. You know, like that's like saying this book was terrible because it was bad. I'm like, but I don't know why. I think if someone said, okay, but why, and you don't have an answer, maybe your criticism doesn't hold. I don't know. We're all just making things up. I do mine all on the fly, so I don't have time. I don't have I don't have time to like think and plot, because I'm kind of, when I review, I have a very short period of time, and maybe I should do more of that. Maybe I should. But like some books like Duck's New Report, I'm just like, that is something I need to talk about. I'll take a picture of it. I'll go, okay, this will make my point. Or if there's something that I'm like, I can't actually talk about it because it's a bit complex, or like with Ducks, that map, the circular map, it's kind of like, well, I just need to show you it. Similar with the Luminaries, which is downstairs. Like the astral maps was kind of like, well, let me just show you it because it's way easier than me trying to explain it. I feel called out for just not vibing with books for no reason whatsoever. You could completely not vibe with something for no reason. I think that's fair. I'd rather people. I would rather people be honest and be like, I just didn't like this book, and that's it. Like, I'm not going to criticize it. I'm not going to like praise it. I'm just going to tell you, I just didn't get on with this. I think that's fair. I think as long as you're not like trying to lead something, or like you're trying to. I think if you're trying to say something positive, I think people more so try to say something positive because they're worried that if they don't say anything positive, then like you're being mean. Luckily, I don't particularly care. Have you read The Red Dog by William Anker? Nope. Ripping off Blood Meridian. I mean, I got the book. I haven't read it as of yet. Should we be getting Donna Tartt soon? Yes. It's been 9 years. 2000. She went in 2013. The Pulitzer. I think it came out the year before. So yeah, 9 years, 8 years. So we're due one. We're doing soon. It's gonna be great. Love it, Donna Tartt. What's been your favourite book of the year so far, apart from the paperback release of Burnt Sugar? Well, favorite book so far. I mean, I've read Gulag's up there. Gulag Archipelago. That's a wild ride. The comments are wild as well on that video. Jeez, I've got a politics. Yeah, where is? Do you know what I said in my last show? I was like, it's coming out on Saturday, and then my audio went wild on it, so it's not even like publishable. There is going to be a 10 out of 10 coming soon. I just got to re-record it. So I'm going to reread it again. But yeah, that was great. Where is it? It's winding me up now. If you watch the end of the last one, you'll figure it out. Sometimes people explain the negative feelings towards a book, and it actually makes me want to read. Yeah, like 100%. Ben from Doom Antidotes here. He didn't like Soul Mountain by Gao Zhanjin. I can't remember the last name. I do apologize. Gao Zhanjin, which won the Nobel. The book that you don't win, the Nobel Prize, you don't win it for a book, you win it for a body of work. Anyway, he didn't like it, and he'll probably remember it. I messaged him out of the blue, being like, let me buy the book off you. Like, I'm interested. I know nothing about this book. You said it's rubbish. Let's see. I didn't think it was great, but I enjoyed it. And I was kind of like curious of what he was like. I kind of I was listening to his criticism and kind of going into the book with that in my mind to kind of plot out roughly where in the story these criticisms would come up. But yeah, 100%. I think more people pick up Ali Smith after watching one of my reviews. I think I've had a few. I think I've had like. It has to be in the double digits now. People being like, I watched a review and I bought it just to be like, is it that bad? I think I heard of one person who was like, oh, I didn't mind it. And I was like, yeah, that's cool. Like, good. Read more. I think more people are intrigued by negative reviews and equally are put off by positive reviews. Luster being one of them. I was really nervous putting out my Luster review, because I believe at the time I couldn't find a negative review on it. Everyone was like, 5-star, wow, incredible, great, wow, and I was reading it going, haven't we like read this before? Like, what am I like missing out on this? And I think my review, I think you can kind of see me being like why is this of interest? But yeah, it's one of those. Yeah, I don't know. Do you know what I'd love to know, if you're watching? Tap like what are your like thoughts on that? I know this is a Q&A, but I'm asking the questions this time, buddy. Like, what are your thoughts on negative reviews? And I'll answer Dylan's question. How do you feel about literary elitism? Seeing stuff like fantasy and YA as not real literature. I think this is a really weird thing, and I'd never come across it until I started online. There's a lot of things that since starting this channel, there are a few things that kind of like were made aware of me that are kind of normal or expected or frowned upon on like the internet book sphere, that had you asked me 6 years before I realized this was a thing, I never would have asked the question. Guys, I'm gonna say this, but I'm gonna blow someone's mind now. You do know science fiction and fantasy can be literary. Have you read 1984? Have you read We? Have you read Brave New World? Have you read The Left Hand of Darkness? Have you read The Dispossessed? Have you read any of PKD? Dick? Philip K. Dick? Have you read Sirens of Saturn by Vonnegut? Have you read Timequake by Vonnegut? Have you read I don't read much fantasy, but Tolkien is literary fiction. Like, no one's arguing. If you're arguing that Tolkien isn't literary, get out of the room. I don't know why. I don't know where this argument has ever spawned from. Can YA be literary? The Outsiders. There you go. You can have that. Where the red fern grows. I'm pretty sure that's YA. I think. I don't think. I think there are some. There are. Obviously, there are sections of it where it's not. I don't know. I just think it's a silly. I just think it's a really silly thing. I don't even think it's an argument that like needs to be said. Is Game of Thrones literary? I've not read them. Probably. I can imagine some Stephen King is literary. I mean, I'm more versed in. I say versed. I don't read much. I don't think Star Trek is literary. I don't think Star Wars is literary. But then you have like the Ballad of Halo Jones. That's literary. Frankenstein, the first ever sci-fi novel, is literary. I just think it's like a really stupid thing that I don't think it takes. How do I phrase it? I think literary fiction is kind of its thing, and people like can identify it very quickly. With some books, Donna Tartt, people go literary fiction. Bret Easton Ellis, literary fiction. David Foster Wallace, literary fiction. I don't know. Is anyone really like arguing? Like, do people get like in that like you know? Jennifer loves books. I've jumped. What does literary even mean? Okay, so I would say literary is anything that speaks to, I'm gonna be really pretentious here, but don't take it as like, oh, he's been so highbrow, because everyone will like know what I'm talking about. It's something that is to reflect or to respond to the human condition. That is all. It's not as pretentious as it sounds. Like, trust me on this. I don't think it is as pretentious as it come across. If you have something that is like actually trying to get at the heart of what it is to grieve, what it is to love, what it is to experience something, then it falls into literary territory. More things are literary than they are not. There's something that everyone can get out of. You can get anything out of a book. Now, obviously the argument is like, does a book such as, I don't know, let's pick something up. What have I got here? Like, I can't be bothered to get it out. But I got Marion Keyes, The Break. It's great. Is that as literary as the Satanic Verses? No. I don't think. I don't really see it as an argument. I don't think. Okay, let's have a look. It's more like Atwood, although she calls herself with speculative fiction and still sci. Oh, hang on, what's Larry said? How many fantasy? Yeah, Atwood, like Oryx and Crake trilogy is sci-fi. The Heart Goes Last is sci-fi. you can wham it up as much as you want. It is. Maybe Life of Pi is more magic realism. Yeah, the island bit. Yeah, the island bit's magic realism. The rest of it isn't, I would say. I feel like sci-fi and fantasy are never seen as literary until they attain classic level, whereas litfic that isn't genre fiction is labelled literary automatically. I think. Gosh, what a question. It's kind of like one of those like wibbly wobbly subjects where there's arguments for and against, and they contradict each other all the time. I would say is that I think maybe consider how recent sci-fi and fantasy are in relation to literary works. Because like with sci-fi, you were still having like pulp, sci-fi, like even until recent, and probably there's still like pulp presses now churning out sci-fi and fantasy. Probably, maybe not fantasy. I don't know. I think fantasy is a bit more established. I think as well, maybe I think why people don't see it as literary is the issue. I don't particularly care, but like of the fandom, like people who like fantasy love fantasy. Like I don't see people cosplaying as Donna Tartt's the Goldfinch, or anything like that. Like I don't think. I mean, if someone's cosplaying as Adam from Paradise Lost, absolutely fair play to her. But I think, I'm using this like quite crassly, but I think maybe like the fandom idea and the kind of exclusive nature. Hear me out, okay. How many videos are there on YouTube? I'm saying this because I haven't read him. On Stephen King, where people go, well, like there's an order that you have to read them, and this is how you have to understand everything. I think it's like naturally like off-putting to most, so it's kind of easier to go, well, I don't have to worry about that with literary fiction, so we're going to call you something else because there's a natural, not natural, I mean, you read one, I hope you know what I'm talking about here. Or what I'm trying to get at. It's kind of, again, on the fly. I don't speak much sense sometimes. The hat's coming off. I think there's, all like with Brandon Sanderson, there's like there's an order that you have to read it in. There's like this thing that like pushes people away. Similar to like I was in a conversation with someone about Ursula K. Le Guin. I mentioned I read Left Hand of Darkness, and then I read The Dispossessed, and I'm like, whoa, you didn't read The Lathe of Heaven? Like, actually, in the universe, I was like, mate, like, you don't have to, like, convert me or, like, put me off Le Guin. Like, we both like Le Guin. Like, let's just talk about, like, what we both know. I think maybe fantasy at times is like that. I think maybe you don't with, but do you know what? No, say that. No, I don't care. I'm pulling it back on literary fiction. You get the dark academia snobs, who just wear scarves. Go ahead. You haven't read Heidegger's the philosophy book that everyone should read. Which is equally, yeah, okay. My argument. See, wibbly wobbly thing. It's to and fro's. I mean some of the classic lovers. Wow. Yeah, yeah. You haven't read all of Dostoevsky? Wow, okay, you know nothing about the state of man in Russia in like the 1890s. I'm like, mate, I've read all of Dostoevsky. Well, it depends. Well, which one did you read first? And like, this doesn't even make sense. Stop. Like, I like Dostoevsky. Behave. Yeah. James Joyce. Yeah, thank you, Dylan. They cosplay as Joyce on Bloomsday. See? But like, this is the thing. Like, I think most people are really normal and don't particularly care, and you just get like these niche people like dominate. Like, can you imagine me going to a Dark Academia concert? I don't even know if that's a thing. I want it to be a thing where everyone just wears scarves and goes, "Oh, Donna Tartt's A Secret History." It's literally 200 pages of a guy being cold in a room. Oh my god, have you met like... Stop, Kieran. Stop. Lots of classics we see as literary were seen as being really genre populist at the time, such as a few Bronte books being more gothic horror, or Shakespeare's soap opera. Yeah, I think... Do you know what? No one cares. I'm going to say that. Doesn't matter. No one cares. Like, genuinely, no one cares. No one cares about... I don't really understand. I think like fantasy and sci-fi lend itself quite easy to a genre because you kind of know what you're getting into. Literary is a bit more difficult to pin down. Like, Joyce isn't the same as Dylan Thomas, who isn't the same as T.S. Eliot, who isn't the same as Anthony Doshi, who isn't the same as Toni Morrison, who isn't the same as Colin Tobin. So there's all this kind of like, oh, well, what is it? No one cares. Can we just agree? I think we're just going to say this. No one cares. I don't know if that answers your question or not, Larry. I do apologise, mate. But, Dispossessed is on my Amazon wishlist. Finger is on the buy now trigger. You know what? Dispossessed, the reason why I picked it up was it was on my wife's law course. And they study it. And talk about like the laws and like what would you do based like in the court. Like, I was like, yes, give it to me, like, now. Because that feels so alien. Sci-fi. Yeah. Okay. September 22nd, 2022. Let's all dress up as Kira and make loud transistors. Are you going to read Harlem Shuffle? Probably not, mate. I've not read any Colson Whitehead. Genre isn't real. Nothing matters. Nobody cares. Good night. You know what? Yeah. To pull it back, this is kind of like... We're going to talk about something very close to my heart. Black metal. Hold up. Just, like, hold the phone. So you have True Cult. You have, like, Mayhem. True Cult. And everyone's like, you could only listen to it this way. And you get people like Dark Throne or No Doubt Blues who... don't follow like the True Cult, like this is just like the way that you need to do it, and then people get like really like wild on you, and you're like, what are you doing? If you read Philip K. Dick, is actually you're really reading literature. Philip K. Dick, have you read, like me? That guy is on like another planet. He was wild. I mean, he also had a very interesting life. Yeah, I can't remember what it was. I was reading an article on him, and I think it got quite bad. I don't know if he had something wrong with him. I have no idea. I don't know if I couldn't tell you anything about. I've not really read into his biography, but I know he like believed he was like the center of the universe, and people were like speaking to him towards the end. And he would go out to his garden, listen to the aliens, and then write a book. I mean. Yeah, but like some of the stuff he was coming out with, like in regards to like what it is to be human, or like can you believe someone is a human or not, is one of like some of like the best like transhumanist, post-humanist books out there. Philip K. Dick. Angela Carter is like, I'd probably say The Passion of New Eve is fantasy, literary. You have the oh my god, what's it called? Why can't I think about it? The Infernal Machines of Dr. Hoffman. Literary. It's fantasy. It's wild. Go check it out. Yeah. That book's wild. What's going on? Wait, hang on. I've missed something here. Genre reveal. Oh gosh. Some explosions and buildings don't make. What? Wait, what? The other mongoose. What's the best Welsh lit for someone who's never tried it? Well, luckily for you, I've not read much, but I would like to one day read with you lot. I got too many books. I need to absolutely cull these. It's probably downstairs actually. One Moonlit Light by Caradog Pritchard, which has actually won the award Best Welsh Book ever. Not even of a year, just it won it. That's Welsh translated. So I'd like to read that with everyone. Maybe on in March we'll do some Welsh lit properly, because I didn't do it last year. Oh, there we go. It's up here. That's it. One Moonlit Light, Caradog Pritchard. I'd like to read that. Winner, does it say winner of the greatest Welsh novel? I'd like to read that. I really enjoy Carol Lewis. The Carol Lewis is really good. I reviewed Martha Jakashenko. That's really, really good. If you like grief is a thing with feathers, I think you'd really get on board with that look, and how it talks about the difficulty in communication with Welsh first language and English first language between people is really interesting. Sounds pretty based. I don't know what that means. People kept saying based in the R.C. Walden review, and I don't know what it means. Words. So there are what other Welsh books? Sarah Waters is Welsh. Weren't expecting that, were you? No. So people like Tip in the Velvet. I've not read that. There is. Do you know what I really like? I've only read one book, Pillars of the Earth by Ken Follett, Cardiff Represent, Caerdydd. I really enjoyed Pillars of the Earth. I wasn't expecting to. Do I have it? It's a chunky boy. There's that. If you're interested in Booker winners, the first ever woman who won it was Welsh as well. The Elected Member by Bernice Rubens. Fun. Water Shall Refuse Them is a great Gothic book from a Welsh author. Academy is my... Stop it. I need to read more Welsh. Cunnan Jones, The Dig, Cove, the not the Long Dry, what's it called? The Dig, Cove. Still Aside, that's not the one I'm thinking of, but Still Aside's good. So just reading the chat. So, yeah, I go for that Welsh. I don't know much about Welsh literature. I'm pretty bad at it. I need to get back into it. By back into it, the long dry. Thank you, not the dry long. That doesn't sound dirty. So. Yeah, I'm trying to think. Do I know any? I got sent a few by. I do have fun fact. I do have a Welsh literature playlist on YouTube. I think it's only got like 3 videos at the moment, but I will endeavour to continue putting books on there that are indeed Welsh. But yeah, no, we need to do that. We do need to sort that out at some point, which is lovely. Skirrid Hill is a... See, when we get to, like, poetry... I'm lost. But I've also like made the decision I will never review poetry on this channel. Yeah. Oh, Charlotte once again. How do you decide on your book ratings? What does it take for a book to be a 10 out of 10 or 1 out of 10? Okay, so okay, how do I decide? God, what a question. I think some of them make. I don't think people will scratch their heads at some. I think Midnight's Children, it being maybe Satanic Verses has overshadowed it to some degree, but Midnight's Children is known as one of like the greatest like books on India. I don't think people were. I don't think people were that surprised that would get a 10 out of 10. It's ridiculously good. Gulag Archipelago by Alden and Schulzenitzen. I don't think many people of that would be surprised that body of work is like outstanding. I can see why people would give up reading it. I think why some people would think that he's kind of hitting home the point maybe a bit too much. I could see it's not an easy. It's easy to read. Solzhenitsyn's like spectacularly readable. It's just bleak. So I can see some people being like, no, this isn't for me. But then then you get like Burnt Sugar. I think I think for me, something that I look for is not originality. I think like some form of experimentation or taking the risk and kind of like believing in the risk that it takes. I think if an author's really pushing the envelope there, we'll probably give it a few. I'll go, yeah. Like, I see what you're doing. Like, I don't think you're pulling her off, but I will probably I'll favour a book like that than something that is, say, just well written. So say like it would be difficult for a book like Red Head by the Side of the Road, like Town Called Solace. I'm using books that I've I've spoken about. They're good. But there's like nothing like more to them than they are good. I think as well there's the subjective level of like what I like and what I don't like, and sometimes if something takes you by surprise, I will be more likely to be like, yeah, okay, I'd recommend it. There's something that comes into it. If someone says recommend me a book off the back, what would I naturally go to? Midnight Children, I think I talk about a lot. Burnt Sugar, everyone knows. I recommend Polar Vortex by Shani Mutu. That's spectacular. I quite enjoyed. And I hope people do it next year. So I didn't know it was a thing, but it's kind of like reading BookTube as like best books of the year. People started reading because they'd seen my review, either Burnt Sugar or Shiny Mutu. Some people did try Midnight's Children, and I think the two that I'd see, both of them had gone, no, like I wasn't in the headspace for this. It's interesting seeing people, especially with Shiny Mutu, being like, oh, like, wait, hang on, like, why is this so high to him? I quite like that. I don't talk about Mutu as much as I have Burnt Sugar. I think Burnt Sugar is kind of like, it's become, I think it's like the thing that is like my channel. I think it's Rushdie, and yeah, I think if people had to say 3 words to describe Kieran's channel, it would be Rushdie and Doshi. Rushdie, Burnt Sugar. There you go. That's 3 words. I think that would be it. So there's that. recommendation it definitely plays a part. I could really enjoy something if I'm never going to recommend it to someone. That factors into it a little bit. I think maybe not really, because I'm reading one now that defies all odds, which would be like how easy it is to read, or like how readable or how engaging. But I think I'm kind of reading the more that I read outside my comfort zone, the more I'm like, well, I don't really understand what's going on, so it's interesting. But yeah, I'd say that's what would come into it. And then predominantly, how well is it stuck in my head? I think I didn't think so, but a few people have said that my like recall knowledge on books is pretty good. I don't think I'm great, but if I read a book and I go, "Wow, that was great," and then I'm there going, "Oh, hang on, like what was it about?" Probably not going to stick points on it. Which is why I kind of predominantly I leave it a day, to kind of like sleep on it, come back and be like, okay, like what do I remember about this book? And yeah, if I'm there going, wow, this is great, I can't really remember anything. I can't even remember what the author's name, the character's name. I think the best one so far has been Paul Scott staying on. I came to review and I just went, I know no one's names. Like I've just like forgotten everything about this book. I gave it a 2. I mean, he was talking about like British people after partition and what happens when people stayed on in India, and the like it wasn't great. Probably at the time it was. A boyfriend, not a big reader. Oh, hang on. Okay, we've had quite a few. What do you? Okay, a question back. If I say something is a 10 out of 10, what are you expecting? I think I'd be curious to know. I'm just going to scroll up this chat a little bit. Lockwood, no, we're not going to go there. I'm much more forgiving on a book that's doing something new in a mediocre way than a book that's doing something very typical in a good way. Yes, I would agree. Favorite South African authors, Kutsaya. The guy's ridiculous. I don't think I've read a bad book by him. I've still got way more to read of Kutsi. Yes, I'm going to say his name differently every single time because no one can agree on how to say it. But yeah, Coetzee's, the guy's ridiculous. I tell my boyfriend, not a big reader, about something bonkers that's happened in a book, really weird. Stylistically an actor choice, and it'll be like, ew. But when you read so often, you just want something a bit spicy. That yeah. Obviously, there's definitely a notion of obviously every book that you read informs the next. Like I'm fully aware of that. And had a book, had Lockwood been, maybe not. I don't know. Book is different because you kind of like it's always in conversation with each other. Maybe vary like by 1 point, if that. But rubbish book. What's this? Cerberus Blooms at Night by Mutu is great. I need to read more Mutu. Oh, Spoon Sugar, stop it. I was reading Bob's like, what's this book all about? Stop. No, it's not more appealing. Stop it. I speak to Doshi. I will tell her directly your names, and she will tell you off. 10 out of 10. I expect to disagree with you. Yeah, I think that's about right. I mean, yeah. I'd be interested in the one that I'm going to review soon. I think I'd like to know if people pick up that book and read it. I doubt many people would, but I would be very intrigued to see what people say about it. A few of the early Booker winners, shortlisters, were interesting. A lot of Empire talk, not always well done. Yeah, I think that's the thing. I know there's a lot of, you have to give the context and you have to, yeah. I know that's why people don't like it that I rate classics. Like, people are like, whoa, like, you can't give, like, I know we joked about it, like, with me and Ben, like, couldn't give Dante a 2. I'm like, well, why couldn't I? Like, it's still, just because you don't like a classic doesn't mean it's not, like, you're still allowed that opinion. That's what I'm trying to get at. For a 10 out of 10, I'd expect incredible writing, new interesting themes, something experimental in there, and somewhat enjoyable to read at least. You know what? I think the majority of the books that I have given are not enjoyable. Maybe I mean, some of them are pretty. I mean, Kane is not a barrel of laughs. Kane's not. Gulag Archipelago is not cheery at all. The new book that I gotta give a 10. I have thought about that book for 3 weeks. Like, it is so vivid. What a book. That is it. It makes A Little Life look PG. I'll say it. That book, jeez. Midnight's Children, maybe not enjoy. I think I that's another thing. Do you know what I've realized with people, when I watch reviews with people, I feel as though, like, the easier it is to read, the better it must be. I never really understood that. Or the classic, I didn't really like it, but it only took me 2 days to finish, so, I'll give it 4-star. I'm like, what? What does that mean? Like, that doesn't make any sense. Like, yeah, okay, maybe I could read, I definitely could read The Yellow Wallpaper quicker than I could Les Mis, but I don't think the speed or the ease, I don't know. But enjoyable, don't necessarily be happy, cheery, but, like, readable, not at the at the slog. Midnight's Children is not the book for anyone. You'll ruin Dante's career if you give him a 2 out of 10. Lol. Ever thought about attempting at your own fiction? Do you know what? I'm gonna do it. This is what some YouTubers should do, and I've told 2 people off for doing this. So when you write something and you're pretty proud, and you go, this is, something I've put effort into, I've written all these words and everything's great. Sometimes you just need to go, yeah, maybe I was just 22 and wrote a book, and that's it. Sometimes that's all you need to do. 100%. I'd like to write a book that is publishable. I'd love to. I'm equally not. I'm more like a Donna Tartt of school of writing. I do it very rarely. I don't write a lot. But if you join the Book Boy Book Club, I'm going to start something new. I'm like 20,000 words into something new at the moment that I was writing as of last year. But I want to start something a bit different. A bit of Welsh mythology, a bit of did you know there's an I'll just say Operation Mincemeat. Some people might know what that is, some people might not, but look it up, it's weird. But there's loads of coincidences about Wales. So I'm gonna do something on there. I'd like to continue doing something there, but yeah, I'd love to be published. That would be absolutely grand. But yeah. But yeah, like that one there is 50,000 words. It's absolute twaddle. But sometimes you just gotta get 50,000 words out to you, and it's there. I know it's done. I will never redraft it. I will never try to get it published. That's that. Maybe more people should do that. Rather than put something just a bit rubbish out, because you can. So, yeah. Fun fact. The mustard he's cut in is a lot thicker than the average Dijon. Yes. Am I a masochistic writer? Yeah, I probably am. Please tell us called the Academy to riff master. No. Oh. No, because if Ruby's here, I can't damage her ears like that. I can't do it. I can't do it, guys. I can't. We respect Ruby Hamer. Ruby Hamer has been here since like the first day. We respect Ruby Hamer's ears. Ears. Yeah. Yeah, I am a masochistic reader. 100%. I enjoy something. I just like getting out of my comfort zone. If a book's like really challenging me, I'm like so determined to finish it. I I mean, I don't DNF often. I'm pretty brutal on myself to be like, no, you started it, you finish it. I think like the last one was Gaskell's North and South. I just wasn't enjoying it. I got to like 52%, and I was like, oh, I'm done. I'm done. I don't need to read anymore. And then apparently when I did the live stream Kate Howe, everyone was like, oh, actually you should have carried on when it gets better. But yeah, it's a hard sell if you have to read 400 pages into a 600-page book before it gets good. But he says Midnight Children was such a good book. I mean, I love Midnight Children. That's great. Such a good book. Ryan, what happens to wives and daughters? Oh, yeah, I said North and South, didn't I? So I was speaking to... I said I would read North and South. I made the thing. Yeah. Apologies. Oh, no. Again, like, I can't remember anything that happened to wives and daughters. There was a lot of wives. There was a lot of daughters. Cheese. Can't eat cheese. That was it. Do you have any authors or books you go into used bookstores? Do not leave without checking for old or interesting copies of, even if you own the book already. No. I mean, I own a lot of copies of To Kill a Mockingbird, but I don't like seek out books to get like multiple copies of. I mean, Dante was what I didn't. It wasn't even aware. Yeah, I need to go through this bookcase. I've had a bit of a move around, so all the books are a little bit wild at the moment. But yeah, nah. I don't know. I mean, I'm not really one for... I think if I own a book, I'll probably keep it. But if I own a book, I'll probably keep it. That was a stupid sentence. If I own a book and I really liked it, I'll most likely keep it. If I'm a bit meh, I'll send her on. I think there would be very few, but I mean, out of all the books I own, I'd probably keep my folio of To Kill a Mockingbird. I'd probably keep my copy of Satanic Verses. I would probably keep my gold Hilary Mantel. I really like that one. I think everything else could burn. No, it couldn't. This one. I know people say we're going back a little bit. What we said about what's it called? Books. I annotated them. This is my Byron's poetry book that is literally in half, nearly coming away in threes. That's not going to be long. So I think you can kind of see through it at the moment. I would probably keep this. It's like my favorite a collection of Byron's poems. It's a really old one. It's a Norton copy. It's from like the 80s, I think. Let's have a look. I've never actually checked. 78. That, but I will take that every day over my other Byrons. I mean, I got the Wordsworth classics and I got the Oxford classics of Byron, like all his complete works, they could burn. But I would take my beloved crumpled Byron. Oh gosh, I love Byron. What a great guy. I said that like I've met him down the pub. I haven't, but I'd love to. Are you planning on rereading? Okay, I forgot over. No, I mean, yeah, never get over the ham. I'm probably gonna get that tattooed on me at some point. The ham. Um. Yeah. I want Scout dressed up as a ham tattooed on me. I want that. I want Hazel from Saga. The Luminaries. I want the Astral Chart. The penultimate one. It's very important. The penultimate one. I want one of those. Yeah. What's the deal with the Satanic Verses? There's not enough time. There's not enough. I will do a video. Trust me. Check out the Rushdie affair on Wikipedia. It's pretty comprehensive. Of like what happened, but yeah. There's not enough time. Yeah. I just need to do it. I could probably smash her out in like an hour, the review, but no, I'm still like, nah. Yeah. Will he show up as a ham for Booker winner announcement? Oh my god, could you imagine? If I ever get invited, I will. Don't make promises, you can't keep Kieran. If I ever get invited to a Booker event, I will bring some ham, be that in costume or in meat form. Are you enjoying this year's Booker as much as last year's Booker? Yes. Yeah. For different ways. I think Booker 2020 had all-round better books. As a whole. I think this year's... People call it safe. It's not safe. Like, what... They've always said to the beginning it's all about getting people to read after the pandemic, and these are a lot more readable books. They're what people say book clubby. They like you can talk about them and not feel intimidated by them. Not a bad thing. Do you know what? Like, if people read more, who cares? That's what it's all about. It's just about, are you reading? Yes. I don't particularly care what you're reading, as long as you're reading. It's so... lads, get your ham on. Stop it. Why do I do this to myself? What was the conversation I was talking about? Booker. But I'm... Do you know what? I think each Booker is going to get better because... Like, I think... Without trying to get all... sentimental is the word. But like, the more people who come across the channel, the more people are engaging with Booker, and more people are trying Booker, and the conversations about Booker are getting like just more interesting. And I think there's a like it's all about that, like, that's the best, like, that's the best bit about Booker is the community. Be that people who follow me, be that people who don't, but people are reading even like say you just read like 3 books on the short list, like, you're getting into conversations with people and you're constantly talking about these books. And I just think, like, if this channel continues to grow, we're just going to have more people talking about books and disagreeing on books and having, like, just, like, out of everything, I really love Booker because it makes reading, like, completely fun. I never have a bad time. Like, I know Lockwood, like, but like the amount of banter in the Discord over Lockwood is way better than the reading of Lockwood. I think even if you like Lockwood, I would hope to think that the banter and the jokes and the memes, and look at Cusk like Jeffers, like what do people just say Jeffers? Like it's making reading fun. It's not arduous. It's not trying to like slam books down your throat. It's not about arcs. It's not about wrap ups. It's not about like I read this. How many of you read it? It's not about is this a classic? Is it not? It's just fun. And I would love to hope that with every year, like it gets people engaged, or like if you weren't even considering reading Booker, like if you pick one up and like get involved, like that's like the best thing ever. That's what I love about it, and I think that's something, even though I've always loved the Booker, is something that I've never had, is like the reading of it with people. It's different to say when I pick up, say, I'll say this, so even though I'll be reading it with Miranda and Amalia, like it's quite a loner activity. Like I'm reading it, I review it, and then I'm kind of, most of the conversation is, I could see maybe picking up, or that sounds like an interesting book. Like Booker is just everyone like, let's go. I love it, honestly. It's like one of the best decisions I ever made was to make this channel, because I absolutely love Booker season. I hate that it's over. It's gonna be over soon. I hate I just love Booker. I love it so much. You meet like great people, you have great conversations. I love it. Just to bring the mood down, have you ordered the Magpie Society sequel yet? No. But when it was announced, I did wake up to like 18 notifications of just people sending me the story, being like, "You gonna review it?" I probably will. I probably will. I mean, like, even know, I was like, I'm not even like rating it. But do you follow any other prizes closely? I mean, yeah, I follow the women's prize in so much that like I'm aware of it and what's out. I don't read. I mean, I read Piranesi because of it. That was the only reason why I picked it up. It was the women's prize, and everyone was talking about it. And then Lockwood, I was aware of it because of the women's prize. Dawn French, I was like, hey. I mean, maybe the Pulitzer. Like, I'm aware of the Pulitzer, and similar to the Nobel Prize, I'm like aware of them rather than like I will like religiously like read the books. But yeah, I'd like to, and next year I'm hoping that I'm going to maybe work with another prize. Work with, that's not the right word, sorry. To focus on another prize. I kind of to build up momentum for that prize. I would like to do that. It's completely out of my comfort zone. With what normally goes on there, but we'll see. I'll have to contact them. We'll see. Yeah, we'll see. Yeah, I mean, if there was some prizes I would be keen on, I mean, I quite like the Jalak prize. Some of the books that are on there, always intrigued. But it's like it's like the same time as Booker. I'd never be able to do it, and I think if I was to do a prize, I'd want to do it like properly. I'd want to be able to do like the long list. I want to do all of them. I don't want to do just the short list. I want to do all of them. I think that's fair. I think not that I think everyone should read the long list, but I think because I'm reviewing and I'm kind of a invested person in Booker, I think it would be weird for me to not read them all, or read them all and not review them all. I think everyone should be even like when they're not shortlisted, like they should be reviewed as like for the book and what it is. That's me. When you get your Magpie tattoo, mate, I got Sharpies. I'll do it myself. But I'd want it like on my face. And then underneath, it's the HTML. But not safe. It's not a safe server. I'd want that underneath my big grand. Such a stupid book. I'm really tempted to do that with the Wainwright Prize. Nature Writing, though it is around a similar time to book up. That's the only thing. I don't read. I mean, I've always said I don't read quickly. Apparently, I read quite quickly. But yeah, like two prizes simultaneously would absolutely like fry my head. And also, if I was to do the Jalak, I feel as though Booker would always like domineer over it, because like I do the live streams, I do like the collabs with Sarah, I do everything, like not just like the review of it. I don't think I could do it like at the same time as Jalak. Maybe I'm just being silly, but live dangerously. Maybe that's what I should do. I'm gonna live dangerously right now. Yeah, the international prize. I hope more people pick up the international Booker. I really like the international. I've never done the whole thing before. I've normally picked up like 2 books in past years. Sometimes I've only just picked up like the winner. But yeah, like I really enjoyed the international. They're a lot more gutsy, I would say. Like they are some like really out there books. Like a book like War of the Poor would never make it on Booker. Like if that was just like an English language book, it never would have seen the Booker. Maybe it would have, I don't know. But there's that. I mean, you had the employee. I mean, maybe the employees, I don't know, maybe that's not a good one because everyone was kind of talking about it. But maybe Gutsy is, yes, thank you. Yeah, Gutsy. It's way more experimental. There are some like weird books on there. Like in a good way, like Kanjue's I Live in the Slums is that was an experience. There's not often I read a book that makes me feel absolutely like thick. I was just like lost on it, going like, what on earth is going on? Like that book was, that was wild. It was wild. But yeah, I hope more people pick up international. I mean, there was a lot of engagement with it. I just don't think people were picking up the books. Maybe this year, after me doing it last year, maybe people who watch my channel will go, yeah, okay, I'm down for this. Yeah, I think as well. Like I'll be doing the same like on the Book Boy Book Club through the Discord. I'll set it up, schedule, work way down the list. There I'll still be doing the international giveaway of the books, which I always want to do. Always want to do that. I think if I get the books free, I want to give them away. I don't want to hold on to them. I didn't pay anything, so they're not mine to keep. That's me. That's like my sort of thing. If I got it for free, it's not mine to keep. But yeah, books are hard to find, especially for the. Yeah, that's the only difficult thing. Is obtaining the books, especially like something like the employees. Where Noah could get a copy. Similar with An Island by Karen Jennings. I don't know if she's got a copy of her book yet. I still don't know. I tried to find as much as I could about that, but I know that she didn't have her book even when it was like announced as being longlisted. She still hadn't obtained a physical copy of her book. Yeah, I think maybe. Yeah, it's interesting. I think I'm always intrigued to why the International Booker, despite having Booker attached to it, why it draws in a very different crowd, and a very. I think more people are willing to take a punt on the English language Booker, where I think with international there's a bit of hesitancy to like reduce it down to like its bare bones. Have you read Mike Marr? No. No idea who that is. Yeah, I think that's what I would say with Booker and International. I think people would be willing to take the punt on the English language, but they wouldn't with the International. But maybe that's because more people read Booker, English Booker. So I think people maybe have like a better idea, and then you have like the women's prize. So, like if you've read Lockwood's novel on the women's, and you've never thought about Booker before, but you see it on there, you might be willing to try something else. Where, I mean, try to recommend Summer Brother by Yarp Robin. People are like, I don't know what that is or who it is, or why would I put 10 quid towards a book I know nothing about, and there's like nothing online about it. Yeah, and then you got like Wretchedness by what was his name? Andrzej Tichy, Andrzej Tichy. I think most people forget about that book. I still think I'm the only review on it on YouTube. I might be wrong. I've not checked it in a very, very long while, but yeah. If you follow the International, maybe you're like, oh yeah, I kind of remember that one. Is there anything you were 100% confident was going to make the long list for Booker that didn't make it? I was pretty sure Still Life by Sarah Winman. That sounded really Booker. But it didn't. And I think it was Bob's. I think it was Bob Channel. Bob Booker. I think he mentioned. I think it was him. It might have been Eric Carl Anderson. One of them mentioned The Magician by Tom Corbijn. I'd never heard of it before, but we'd done our prediction, and then they mentioned it, and I was like, yeah, like that screams that would be on there. I'm surprised it didn't. That sounds really interesting, about Thomas Mann. I thought Assembly would. I put it on my. We put it on the, what's it called? I can't think of the word. We put it on the long list. I wasn't. I mean, I kind of see why it's not. When you see what's on the list, you can kind of see like what the judges. There's normally like a thread that you can pull, even if the judges weren't thinking about it. Other people can kind of see what's being spoken about and what's of interest. And again, you read books, not really in a vacuum. So there's that. But yeah, Assembly wouldn't have fit on that list. Yeah, it would feel out of place. Which again, it's not like it's. I like Assembly. I like Assembly. I don't think it's as great as everyone made out. But it's definitely something to read. If you're like, I'm an RN or you haven't heard about it, check it out. I thought it was good. I'm surprised. Oh, I was gonna say which one didn't make it. Trying to think of my own list. What was what everyone wanted? Oh, Before My Actual Heart Breaks, that's what it's called. Tish Delaney. I'm surprised that didn't make it on there. I thought that would be a really good. I've seen a lot of people. Hello. I've seen a lot of people talk about that. It's got like a really good reviews on it. It sounds great. But again, I haven't heard anything negative, so I'm a little bit off put myself. But yeah, yeah. I'll probably get around to that at some point. I got a lot of books to read at the moment. Like I've bought, and I actually need to get around to reading. But hopefully, New Year, have like a little breather. Probably get a few new books coming through around that time of period. So yeah, maybe I'll pick up something that I actually want to like really want to read. Because most of the books I have no idea about. The last one was Piranesi, and look how that went. Oh, that's great. I'm probably going to sign off now because we've gone over 2 hours. My lord. If anyone has like any last little things they want to ask, if I will probably turn down. Science fiction, perhaps. I'd like to read more. I'd like to read Ubik. I kind of want to read that pretty soon. I want to read Ubik. Maybe Solaris as well. I'd like to do that. But thank you everyone who has turned up, and it's been wonderful. I know Charlotte's still here. So hit me up for that Palina collab. And anyone else, if you make any channels, I don't mind jumping on people's stuff. I'll have a go at anything. I'll take a whack at that. There you go. That's a Parent Trap reference for you. Ubik's good. Yeah, I know. Thanks, Lauren. Thank you for the hype ham. Darn it. It's been fantastic. I'm glad the transitions have been loud.